I'm going to start just by reading a portion of the book called About the Author. I'm not a writer, so this was not easy, and not for reasons that you might think. I'm not lazy. It's my mind. My mind is dull. Thanks to my neighbors, my democracy, and my losing vote, I've been subjected to long-term negative impacts to my cognitive functioning, leading to a reduced IQ and neurodevelopmental issues. True story. You got it? Let's get into it. My favorite writers are artists and those who defy the medium. They defy their instrument of what it is and what it might be. Art defies conventional boundaries. Without it, we lose the capacity to think creatively, to view the world with fresh eyes, and continuously rejuvenate our surroundings. Writing is considered an art form. It involves creativity, expression, and the use of language to convey ideas and emotions, and stories. Like other forms of art, writing can inspire, provoke thought, and challenge conventions. Whether it's fiction, poetry, essays, or any other genre, writing allows for artistic exploration and expression. In high school, in my senior year, I was no longer the victim of bullies, and I'd been the lead in the school play, so I thought I might be smart. I was wrong. I'm not smart. So doing something like researching and writing this book, it was quite difficult. Over time, I've proven myself to be very stupid. I later learned that if someone states, "I've proven to myself to be very stupid,"
well, that demonstrates self-awareness. And by recognizing and declaring their own behavior or decisions as lacking intelligence, this awareness contradicts the assertion of stupidity, since recognizing or providing it requires some cognitive capacity and insight.
Thus, there's an indifferent tension between the two concepts. And that's how I write, with inherent tension among concepts, a fundamental wrench in the gears. Anyway, in my government studies class in high school, I presented my smarty pants idea of absolute direct democracy to my teacher, Mr. Walls. This was in the mid-'80s. The world had personal computers, yes, but the internet was still mostly a dream. No one was emailing anyone every day, at least. But I saw it coming, and I suggested that we dismiss all of the senators and the representatives in Congress and instead allow every ilk of the citizenry to make all those major and mundane decisions of government. Today I realize the point was moot. Not only is Congress corrupt with money and influence and power, but the very people they govern are willfully stupid, easily coerced, and cajoled to do just about anything that the upper echelon of society desires. That's right, we're a nation, a planet of sheep. Now, not long after I thought I was cool, just when I thought I was the breeze in the autumn, I got hit in the face with the dirty ways of the world. There are plenty of examples of how when the chips are down that your vote will be stolen or manipulated away from you. I saw it firsthand in my adopted hometown of Manchester, New Hampshire. This is a working-class city that fluoridates their water with good intentions. You know, the stuff that's in toothpaste, it's supposed to coat the teeth and protect against cavities. That stuff. An extensive Harvard study said we should recognize that fluoride has beneficial effects on dental development and protection against cavities. But do we need to add it to drinking water so it gets in the bloodstream and potentially into the brain? Countries that do not fluoridate their water have also seen big drops in the rate of cavities, unquote. According to the Harvard School of Public Health and China Medical University meta-analysis, high levels of fluoride exposure in drinking water were associated with reduced cognitive function. A 2024 U.S. government study said similar things. But did anyone care? No. It is medicine. It is poison. Just read the damn label on your tube of Crest. In my city, and like many others, we drink it by the gallon. We boil our pasta in it. We bathe in it. We are stupid. But it's because we are told that public health measures often involve complex trade-offs. We were told during COVID-19 pandemic about the trusting of the science, and we adjusted our lives with an abundance of caution. But when it comes to drinking poison, we show no caution. And thus, my mind is now sufficiently dulled. You see, around 1999, a few citizens were able to manage the Herculean effort to put fluoridation of the municipal water supply on the city ballot and to let the people decide. Democracy, right? And, well, the campaigning began. The government, they spent our tax dollars bringing in experts to lie to us. And the citizen brigade was painted as tin hat wackos. And that's really how your democracy works. Either you accept the lie or you become the liar. If you could commission a study that says fluoride in the water is bad for your lawn grass or for washing your car, then maybe people would wake up. Is the American country dead? Probably. We seem to choose poorly every time, and when we get one right, we're punished. It's not the way it should be, but it is. The philosophy of this generation will be the culture and the government of the next. Years ago, I served on a grand jury. We saw about 15 cases in a day. In grand jury, you only hear from the prosecution. They bring in a case, and they have worked on it diligently, and in order to get the jury to indict. That's all they want, so they can bring it to trial later. Well, that day, we indicted 14 out of 15. Only once did my group of citizens feel that there wasn't quite exactly enough evidence to indict. So we didn't. And what happened? Well, the county prosecutor came into the room and he yelled at us because he knows better. So why were we even there? When the lofty law fails, as it often does, there is still justice waiting as an option, but justice is a coward. 25 years after that fluoride vote, cancer is rising. Dementia is ominously up. Fluoride does not excrete in the urine, and it accumulates in your fat cells. Is there a correlation? I don't know. But could we possibly try not fluoridating for 25 years and see how that goes? No, because we're very stupid, and it's too late for common sense. What is common sense? I've come to realize that you are not your mind. You exist behind it. Your mind is an unruly child throwing thoughts around. It's up to you to start managing it from the back seat. Observe it. Take what is positive and leave what is negative. That's a start. When fear or other worries enter your mind, just gently say, I appreciate the suggestion, but I'll decide what I want to think, and then dismiss it. It takes practice. It is attainable. That's common sense. So now, with dulled and faded senses, some cynicism, my pen hand, and 50 years of pent-up angst. As they said to me, you can't write a book, followed by 4 years of endless research, I will challenge the notion of what it means to be a writer. This is my contribution into a genre. The older guy telling stories. Now that's a well-respected genre that I don't respect. This is a genre-defying masterwork, a 500,000-word behemoth that has daily consumed 4 years of my life, a testament to my unwavering dedication and unquenchable thirst for telling these stories, or a testament to my obliviousness of my poisoned dementia. I was born on the bewitching Halloween Eve in 1966. I grew up along the enchanting banks of the Maple River, and my imagination was shaped by those rustling waters and the rumble of the passing trains that traveled the tracks behind our home. From an early age, I dreamed of exiting via the Maple and traversing the Missouri and the Mississippi rivers on a daring homemade raft-building endeavor, with my trusty bike and a tent in tow, hoboing it to the Gulf of Mexico. Though reality may have thwarted those plans, it could never dampen my suspicion that adventures and even life lay beyond. Hailing from a prairie town in a prairie state that began to feel like a jail cell, I dared to escape the clutches of my seclusion, seeking some vibrancy and diversity that lay beyond. What I failed to realize at the time was that I'm from the future. But maybe, in some way, I always knew it. As a 10-year-old, I sensed the pulse of something bigger, a whisper that life had more in store than I could grasp. I didn't fully understand then, but those early dreams were flickers from a future self, calling across time. Now, 48 years later, from that 10-year-old boy, I choose to circle back with a voice, not only as a culmination, but as a reckoning. It's here in this moment that I confront what I've always known. My story was never just my own. I'm a character in an arc of lies, a larger story. I only had a glimpse into something far grander, into what happens next.